Hi, my name is Kate, this is my channel, and this is a return after quite a break and a Friday Reads. I basically stopped making videos because my apartment was so dark that I didn't feel good about making videos. But now I've recently moved and my new apartment is so bright that I actually just had to close the blinds because it was so bright I couldn't see myself. So it's completely different. It's beautiful. Our bookshelf is all unpacked and looks awesome. So I think I want to try and get back into the habit of making videos. So I have a day off today. It's Friday, so Friday Reads. I also want to just quickly talk about the most recent book that I've read that I actually really enjoyed, and then I'm going to talk about what I'll read for the rest of the weekend. So the book that I want to talk about is this one. It's called After Australia, and it's a collection of mostly short stories, but also some poetry and short personal essays, and it was edited by Michael Mohammed Ahmad. And the tagline for it, in case you can't read it, is "After Empire, After Colony, After White Supremacy, 12 diverse writers imagine an alternative Australia." So it's non-white Australians essentially talking about imagining a future Australia. So it's mostly science fiction. And then the essays are personal essays by Hannah Donnelly, who is an Australian Aboriginal woman, and it's about her essays. They repeat throughout every couple of stories, and they're sort of reflective about her life, rather than so much looking forward, but they're sort of reflective and then inferring the future direction for Australia, I suppose. I really liked these stories. They were really good. There were some really lovely ones. I particularly liked, there was one about, what was it called? I think it was Queen. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. But it was about basically intense global warming, and it's too hot. You have to put on all these special clothes just to go outside. And how basically the Sydney CBD and Sydney Harbour foreshores are uninhabitable, and it's just the domain of the extremely poor. And there's a lot of fertility restrictions, I suppose, because there's too many people already, and you have to be careful about getting pregnant. And it's about a young girl who discovers that she's pregnant and whether or not what she's going to do about that. There was also one about a plague, which was a flu-like plague, just as a warning to people in case that's something that's going to upset you at the moment. But it was really interesting because it was basically, they're calling it the white flu because only white people are getting it and only white people are dying. Very interesting. But as much as I liked it, it did sort of seem to fall into that trap of, I don't know how to put this, of literary writers believing that they're doing something fresh and new, even though genre writers, speculative fiction writers have been doing the exact same things for a long time, which gets frustrating. However, it did feel a little bit more fresh because they were diverse stories. So there was I found myself in a bit of tension there, not quite sure if I liked it or not. But overall, this was a really good book. I particularly liked the poem at the end by Amberlin Quemelina, Message from the Nara Palya, Ngurrapalya, by Emberlyn Quay-Molina. She's an Aboriginal writer, and I've read some things by her before. Her and her, I think it's her brother, Ezekiel Quay-Molina, occasionally do some children's books. Ezekiel Quay-Molina is an illustrator, and he actually illustrates quite a few children's books, and occasionally they team up and do something together. But she's actually a speculative writer as well, so that's always lovely. There was a particular bit of her poem that I thought was spectacular. Where did it go? When the change comes, it will have many beginnings. It will not be one big thing, but a lot of little things, drops of water falling gently and running together into a trickle, then a stream, then an ocean that roars. I loved that. Anyway, so I really enjoyed this book. I do recommend it. So yesterday I allowed myself to actually go to a bookshop and to browse and to just pick a couple of things that I purchased. I'd had a really bad day at work, but I finished early and I had an appointment at the blood bank to donate some blood, and the blood bank is just down the road from this bookshop, and so having had a bad day and having done a good deed, I allowed myself to purchase books, and one of those books was Susanna Clarke's Piranesi. I didn't know anything about it other than the fact that it was by Susanna Clarke, the author of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. It was her first book since Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, and that everything that I've seen about it, all of the reviews that I've seen have been extremely positive. So I was like, okay, it's a hardback, it's beautiful, like look at it, it's stunning. And then like the front pages are really lovely as well, and the naked hardback is just gorgeous. So I wanted to get it even though I didn't know anything about it. And I think I kind of didn't want to know anything about it as well. I've started it this morning. I've just spent a couple of hours in the sunshine in the park reading. So I'm already just over a third of the way through. And it's spectacular. It is so good. Like I almost didn't want to stop to film this because I was like, I could just keep reading. Please excuse my phone. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it seems to be about memory, I think is what I would say it's about. So I'm really enjoying it, and I will finish this weekend. I'll probably read a chunk more of it today, and then tomorrow I've got a fair few things on, but Sunday is totally free, so I will definitely finish this before I go back to work on Monday. Thank goodness, because I really need to be thinking about something else at the moment. Anyway, so as far as what I'm going to do with this channel now, how often I'm going to post, I think I just want to mostly focus on Friday reads, talking about what I am going to be reading and what I have read in the last week. I don't think I want to do big reviews as such, just soul reviews, and I don't think I'm going to be doing many challenges, and I've never been one for wrap-ups. I tried to do a lot of wrap-ups and they just got so long because I was reading so much and I had a lot to say about what I was reading. So I think if I do it regularly, I'm more likely to hit shorter videos and to be more consistent in making sure that I stay on track if I make myself a schedule. So I think I'm going to be trying to film on Fridays or Saturdays. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I'm Kate. It's my channel. It's my Friday reads. I'll see you next Friday. Bye.